Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I want to go into a little brief overview of the Tamron 17 to 28 millimeter 2.8. This is a lens that I requested from Tamron to send over a few weeks ago because I wanted to do a little experiment. Normally I shoot with the 14 to 24 from Sigma, and although it's a really good lens, it is priced a little bit significantly higher than this one. The 14 to 24 is about $1,200 to $1,400, depending if you get it on sale or not. And it's a really great lens. There's nothing, that I can say that's terribly negative about it, except I hate the fact that you have to buy different filters that you put in the back. They don't go in the front. That really annoys me because it's an extra thing that you have to spend that you can't really use with anything else, essentially. Whereas with the 17 to 28, you can attach filters to the front just like any other normal lens. So that is, I guess, one major thing that sticks out about this lens that I do like. It's a 67 millimeter thread, so if you have those or you have step down filters, you can use them on this lens. On the Sigma, you have to use proprietary filters that go on the back, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't know, it annoys me. I actually bought those filters and I returned them because I didn't really like the whole process. But in any case, is the 17 to 28 half the lens of what that is? Because that's pretty much the price difference, right? One of them's $1,200 to $1,400. We'll call it $1,400 when it's not on sale. So $1,400 versus $799, $800. So I have been using this for the last, I would say 3 or 4 weeks. And I would say numerous weddings, bunch of engagement sessions, and I can't necessarily say that I missed that extra 3 or 4 millimeters. Is it nice to have a little bit extra width? Yeah, in some instances, but is it absolutely necessary? I don't really think so. And if I were on a tighter budget, or if I were starting out and I need an ultra wide because, let's say for example, if I'm a second shooter, the 35 to 150, this guy right here, this is my bread and butter. If I'm a second shooter, I can shoot an entire wedding with this and I would get away with it. If I'm a lead shooter, I still need something that's a little bit wider, at least with the style that we have. With the photos that you're seeing right now, they are a little bit wider. They're still quote unquote portraits because it is people in them, but it's more of an environmental portrait. So you need something that's a little bit wider than say 35 millimeters. 35 millimeters will get away with like 95% of the shoot. But for that extra 5%, for those standard signature shots that we do, this lens has been incredible. And not only that, the size of this thing is really nice. I'm at a point now where if you hand me a flash, I can tell you if it has batteries or not, because I've been shooting for so long that I understand how much little things will add weight. And although I don't complain about it, because I mean, compared to how things used to be, how heavy things used to be, this is nothing. But I have noticed there have been times where this lens was in my camera bag and I pick it up and I'm like, wait, do I have the other lens on me? I can tell there's a difference in weight between this and say the Sigma 14. And that does make a difference, I would say, like on the dance floor. Like sometimes I'll start shooting the dance floor photos with 35 to 150 because I just open up the dance floor and immediately I go, all right, let's switch this thing out, because it does make a difference on a long day. And having this little light lens just, I don't know, to me has been really nice. Now, a question you guys might be asking is little things like optical stabilization, or does the lens have any sort of stabilization in it? It does not. However, most mirrorless cameras, if you're using it for a mirrorless system, they're gonna have body stabilization like this one does. So I've never really ran into a situation where I feel like shakiness. On top of that, keep in mind that when you have a zoom lens, let's say you're at 150 with this one, it is going to exaggerate more of, if you go up just a little bit or down just a little bit at 150, it's gonna look really intense. At 17 or even at 28, it's not gonna look as crazy, so you can hand hold a lot easier with a wider lens like this. So optical stabilization is something that they omitted, and I'm sure it saves on the price and also makes it a lot lighter. So it's not anything that I've missed or even noticed. If I'm being 100% transparent with you guys, I Googled, does this lens have stabilization just now? Because it's never been an issue. So I'm like, wait, does it or does it not have it? Because I've never really noticed it, because the body obviously is stabilizing things. So for example, with the A9, it has 5 stops of stabilization. I can't see me needing more than that. So I feel like if they cut it out and took off a little bit of cost by doing that, more power to them. As far as sharpness goes, I'm not gonna sit here and take photos of charts. I think that that's a waste of time. I'm showing you guys a few photos right now of different scenarios where we've shot at f2.8, we've shot at f22, we've shot at f11, and all through the range, I'm not seeing anything that is gonna be detrimental or anything that I noticed or any chromatic aberration or any of that. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is if you're shooting with a 17-28 and you're shooting it in the way that we shoot it with quote unquote environmental portraits, you're never or very rarely are you gonna put your couple or your subject near the corner because you don't want them to distort anyway. This lens doesn't distort a terrible amount, but every lens that's wide is going to distort a little bit. So generally speaking, if I'm at 2.8, I'm not going to put them in the corner anyway, but I'm also not going to notice if there's any softness in the corners because of that, because I'm not putting my subject near the corners. As far as sharpness goes, I've had zero issues with it. I haven't put an ND filter or a polarizer on it because I don't have any 67mm ones. I only have the ones for, what is it, the 82mm for this one. But I mean, I don't usually use a lot of filters, if I'm being honest, but the fact that it does have it where you can put it naturally, how most lenses do it versus, you know, the other one, I do like that. I do like that that's an option. As far as build quality, I mean, looks great to me. I haven't had any issues with it. It's pretty much what you guys are used to from Tamron. It's that matte black kind of finish. As far as the feel of it, it's smooth. The zoom is internal, so obviously as you're seeing here, I'm zooming in and out. It's not going in and out or anything like that. And as far as video, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I never shoot video with these lenses, or very rarely do I do that. So for you videographers that are watching or following us, I apologize. I don't do that much video just because I don't do vlogging, because I have the original A9, which only has the swivel tilt screen like this. It doesn't have the one that flips the other way. So I can't say too much on that, but autofocus, haven't really had any issues. Now in low light situations, any lens, any camera is gonna struggle a little bit. But even in those situations, it still captures autofocus very quickly. I don't have any frustrations of it, you know, hunting or anything like that. Part of it, again, guys, the body that you use is gonna make a difference. I probably could upgrade bodies at this point because I'm on the original A9, but even with this one, I haven't really had too many crazy issues or any problems when I'm trying to autofocus. If it's giving me a little bit of hunting, it's gonna be where I'm shooting it in a complete dark hole where I can barely see. So I'm gonna cut it some slack on that regard. In any of these lenses, you know, any lens actually will give you a little bit of an issue, but nothing that has ever been detrimental. And again, just like I started, when you're looking at price, $799 for this, you're looking at, for the 14-24, you're looking at $1,200 to $1,400. And for the Sigma 16-28, which would be a competitor for this, it's about $100 more, it's $90 more, it's $889 for that one. So if somebody came on board on our team and they wanted to do lead shooting, obviously they would start second shooting first. So this is the first one that we would recommend to them, the 35-150. Once they have that and they've been shooting with that for a while, this is a great option. For the price, for the usage also, because you have to remember, guys, like, we're not using these lenses for hours on end on a photo shoot day. If anything, I probably use this lens for, out of 3,000 shots that I shoot at a wedding, I would probably say I use this one for maybe like 50 of photos that are not dance floor photos. So once we go on the dance floor, right here, this is it. It's lighter, it's smaller, it's wide, it's perfect for that. When it's not dance floor photos, I'm not using it really, except for those wide photos of like the venue, of the church, and then wide environmental portraits of the couple. So would I spend double the amount for a lens that I'm not necessarily using that much? Probably not. I would probably get something like this that's gonna give me plenty of use for a long period of time, and I'm not breaking the bank while doing it. One thing that I've always said, guys, is I never wanted to be that dumbing that once, you know, I can acquire different equipment and I can get different equipment that serves my purposes, that I would forget that, hey, $700, $1,400, $2,000, it's a lot of money. It's not just, you know, yeah, I'm gonna go and buy it tomorrow. It's still, you know, a significant amount of money for most people, especially when you're starting out. So if I can give you guys some advice as far as if I were to spend my money on this versus this, and it's gonna give me about the same thing, yeah, I'd probably go with the one that's gonna give me about the same job for a significant amount less. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know any questions you guys have, because I'll probably do an update video on this lens. I just wanted to give you guys my initial thoughts on the 17 to 28 millimeter 2.8. And again, Tamron, thank you for sending this over. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, if you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And I hope you guys are having a great week. Bye, guys.